Hey, welcome to the Violet Flora Tarot. We're going to do a collective love reading for my singles. We're going to ask the cards, what is blocking the collective in romantic love? We're going to explore a few things. I have a list of questions that I want to answer for you, so let's get started. Actually, before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe to the Violet Flora Tarot. Like this video, you can share it with a friend. Also, check out my TikTok, the Violet Flora Tarot. I think it's the Violet Flora, actually, on TikTok. Check me out. We do a lot of fun little mini zodiac reads over there. So, all right, let's jump in. This is for my collective in romantic love. What patterns or beliefs is currently blocking the collective in love? What pattern or belief is blocking the collective in love? Okay. All right, so we have the Nine of Swords, the Hermit, and the Temperance card. Let me pull this one more, the Hierophant. Okay, so collective, I think something that's blocking you is feeling like commitment is not going to happen for you. I think you're having a hard time seeing that there are people out there who are going to want to choose you. And I feel like this energy with the Eight of Swords of like not being able to get out of your own way. You might also be isolating with the Hermit. So if you're not getting out there, that also could be blocking it for you. I also think you hold back a lot. The Eight of Swords is really sticking out to me. And I feel like this is saying that, like, I think you might have a hard time recognizing when somebody is genuinely interested. And probably from a lot of past pain, right? Let's see. Any other patterns or beliefs that's blocking the collective in romantic love? I wonder if it's communicating in a way that might be a little like off-putting to other people. Like even if you're not controlling, I'm getting this idea that, you know, this can be communicating some rigidness, or you're also expecting the person that you are dealing with to maybe be mean, especially if you have a pattern of, you know, historically dating people who weren't the nicest to you, you know? I'm also getting for a small portion of you, you might not even have time. It might be time might be an issue, right? Like having a hard time investing in yourself and therefore having a hard time investing in like dating or finding a partner. Maybe if you do have somebody who's interested, maybe there's some rigidity on your end to like be a little flexible in order to make time for that person, or it could be vice versa as well. Okay, where is the collective acting from fear rather than truth in their romantic love life? Yeah, they're being really guarded. You know, if you've been hurt a lot, it's almost like you're bracing yourself for impact when you meet somebody, or if there's romantic interest, you're like expecting the worst. And while that might feel protective, I actually think it's preventing you from being present in the relationship, in the dynamic. But people can also sense our defensiveness, even if we feel like it's, you know, people can sense your defensiveness, even if we feel like we're hiding it well, you know? All right, let me see. Where is collective acting from fear rather than truth? Yeah, I think that there's like a lot of waiting around too. Like if you're interested in someone, that defensiveness of like, okay, are they going to screw me over? Are they going to be interested and then all of a sudden not interested? I think that this is you waiting for people to come to you. And I feel like there's a lot of messages out there on the internet from like dating coaches or whoever of like, you know, never make the first move. And maybe that's true sometimes, but I think if we don't show any interest or any indication that we would like to interact with this person, you know, the other person is not going to know you're interested. Oh, this one flew out. We have the Queen of Pentacles, so you're really focused on your money. But the Queen of Pentacles, she's not really an action card. She's more of a sit back and wait. And like I said, I don't think that's necessarily always a bad thing, but it might be like too much waiting around. You may have also taken a while to realize that you are a catch and that people are interested in you. The Knight of Cups being here as part of like the what's blocking you is people show you interest and you either can't see it or you are approaching it in such a defensive way, you know, thinking that maybe the person is suspicious in some way, shape, or form, that it's like you pushing people away, you know? Yeah, the Lovers. So I think there have been people who were a really great fit for you, but you may have pushed them away. Or like the minute they make one little small mistake, you cut them. You cut them off. Where some things might be more forgiving. So the energy I'm actually getting is there's a lot of overcorrecting. Like in the past, in your romantic relationships, if you put up with way too much, you're way overcorrecting and it's like very all or nothing. Where maybe there's a beautiful middle ground where you can give people grace when, you know, allowed or when needed. Not tolerating crap, but, hold on, sorry. You know, not giving anybody any grace ever. Okay. What is the collective currently not seeing clearly about their most recent connection? Okay, so think about your most recent connection. Maybe you have a connection right now. If it's a new connection. What is the collective not seeing clearly about their current or recent connection in love? There's your defensiveness again. And even if you're like, hey, I think I'm really nice in relationships. Well, maybe you are, but if you're feeling defensive on the inside, I think this message is for you. And that is, I think that's also you cutting people off prematurely. Okay, what are they not seeing clearly? Okay, we have the 8 of Pentacles, the World. I think, and we at the bottom of the deck, we have the 3 of Swords. Yeah, I think in the past, you may have put like a lot of work in, and you are looking back, you're thinking, maybe I put too much work in. Maybe I put them on a pedestal too much, and maybe you did, right? We don't want to put anybody on a pedestal because pedestals are not for humans. Pedestals are for artwork, right? So you may have spent too much time in the wrong relationships with people who didn't put a lot of effort in. And instead of seeing it as, okay, this is a person that I chose, it's almost this energy of why does this happen to me, and not being able to really see what your role was, right? We choose people to be in relationships with, right? And if we're repeating patterns, you got to take a look at what is causing it. But be careful of that overcorrecting. Okay. Anything else that the collective is not seeing clearly about their current or most recent love connection? We have the Sun. I wonder if you had a hard time having fun. I think it's really hard to enjoy a connection when we're waiting and ready for them to betray us because other people have in the past. It's almost like you're not giving them a chance, or you didn't give them a chance. And maybe they were even trying to make you happy, but maybe you thought it was fake, right? With the 9 of Wands before. This is giving me the impression that you may have had a difficult time recognizing when people actually loved you or had strong feelings for you. Let me get one more card. What is the collective not seeing clearly about their current love connection or recent love connection? That they actually wanted to work with you, that they actually wanted to like collaborate and make the relationship work with you. And this is giving me a push-pull. Maybe you have a history of being in the push-pull relationship where it's like, oh, I'm coming back in, oh, I'm leaving. I'm coming in, I'm leaving. I'm coming, I'm going. I'm coming, I'm going. Which is just like emotional whiplash. But I think that's coming to an end. Right? There is new love coming in with the Two of Cups. Love the Two of Cups in a love reading. It's beautiful. But first, I think you have to address that inner conflict or healing your own patterns that kept you in relationships that were really unhealthy. And then overgeneralizing of like, okay, well, all romantic relationships are going to be like that, because it's just not true. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. What part of the collective's self do they need to love before expecting love from someone else? So what part of you, my collective, what part of you do you need to love before expecting love from someone else? I think first you need to be comfortable getting attention. You need to be comfortable like receiving. Healing your abandonment wounds. You're so afraid that people are going to leave you. Well, let me see. What part is collective self do they need to love first before love, true love, can come in? Your flaws. I'm getting some of you are perfectionists, and you might think that you have to be like a perfect partner, look perfect, act perfect. I think you're really afraid of giving other people the ick, that you're not allowing yourself to be yourself. Everybody has flaws, right? And I think the Page of Cups, this is like you not showing up fully in a relationship, you know? All right, let me see. Let me get the next question that I want to ask. All right, what needs to be released from the past before a collective can fully receive love? Okay. What needs to be fully released from collective's past before they can fully receive love? What needs to be released? We have the King of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. Maybe your own workaholic tendencies, like overworking yourself, even like putting too much effort into a relationship that's like uneven, unequal give and take. What needs to be released? So indecision with the Two of... If you had a past person who tend to ignore you, I think it's letting that go. And for some of you, I still think that you might be kind of hung up on someone who was very rigid from your past. I'm getting like a real bossy energy from that person. And maybe you have a tendency to be bossy or rigid when it comes to love. Anything else that needs to be released? Or the Ace of Cups. Anything that is getting in the way of your own self-love. If you still have feelings for the wrong person, it's finding a way to move through that. Because those relationships ended for a reason, and holding on is not helping at all. Okay, I am going to ask 2 more questions. All right, what kind of love is the collective ready for, even if they don't see it yet? What kind of love is the collective ready for? Let's see. These 2 came out. So I think that you, at this point in time, are ready for someone who has also done the work and has kind of moved away from their own toxic habits. So if you have found yourself in situations with people who maybe had addictions or maybe had really negative ties to their past, any type of toxicity, I think that you are ready for someone who has moved through that already, right? Like maybe somebody who has gone to therapy or has done a lot of work on themselves, right? But you also have to do that too. You know, releasing the old toxicity. Let me see. Let me just get like a few more cards. What kind of love is the collective ready for? I think you're giving up on the player type, but it's also being able to find partners, a partner or people to date who are fun, but who aren't looking for the next best thing. So somebody more mature who's going to appreciate your Empress energy. This also could be, you know, you being ready for somebody who's really nurturing, you know, whether it's male or female. All right, let me shuffle this up. The next and final question for my single collective. What is the next honest step for them to take in the romantic love life? What is the next romantic, honest step in the collective's romantic love life? Going slow, not rushing into anything. The next honest step, being really honest with yourself, right? See, look, the Knight of Swords and then the Knight of Pentacles. These are total opposite energies. The Knight of Swords is really fast and impulsive, and the Knight of Pentacles is super slow and methodical. Doesn't mean they have to be slow as molasses, but it's really taking your time, not rushing and being impulsive, because then we really don't know who we're dealing with, right? I think this is putting the work in to yourself to be able to show up better in relationships, but then also choose healthier partners, right? For that success. And this is also knowing your worth. Putting yourself out there and feeling like self-respect. Because that really does change who we attract and who we choose, you know? Let's see, collective. Let me know. I'm going to do one more. What is coming in for the collective in their romantic love life? What's coming in? Potentially. What energy is around them? Okay, so this is your tendency to be really defensive. So be careful about that. Because you do have the 10 of Cups that came out. But I'm not sure if we could really embrace that happiness if we're so freaking defensive and really weary of everyone, you know? Yeah, because there's some really nice vibes coming in. The Sun, there's happiness. There's somebody, I think, who wants to put the effort in. This is somebody, the King of Wands with the Page of Pentacles. This is somebody who is mature, passionate, attractive, who's also going to put effort in. But they're probably going to expect effort back, you know? Anything else coming in love for my collectives? Let's see. Ooh, these flew out. Okay, we have the Fool and we have the Chariot. And the King of Pentacles. Okay. You know, I always view the King of Pentacles as like husband material or wife material, like a long-term stable partner. And they could be really doing really well financially, but there's a lot of stability with him or her. It doesn't have to be, you know, any specific gender. It could be either or. But this is going to take you kind of letting go of the restraints so you can move forward and experience that joy that love, romantic love can offer you, you know? And also, I'm getting, don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? And also, don't abandon other parts of your life for love. Don't put love up on a pedestal. Just like we're not going to put a person up on a pedestal. Don't put, you know, the idea of having a partner up on a pedestal, because you have a whole beautiful life to enjoy, right? Other connections, friends, family, you know, any type of loved ones, career, pets. All right, collective, I hope you enjoy this reading. Don't forget to subscribe. You can drop a comment. I would love to hear what you think. And stay tuned for the next reading. Have a great day. Bye.